Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sport. Last year's budget claimed that the Ontario Music Fund had created or retained 2,000 jobs in the first year alone. The minister subsequently told Billboard magazine that in the first year, the fund had been responsible for the creation of 2,000 new jobs. That's new jobs. But, Speaker, as is often the case with this government, the evidence sings a very different tune. The Ontario Media Development Corporation's own statistics show that just 263 new full-time jobs were created by the fund and another 569 retained. That's 1/4 of the 2,000 claimed. Could the minister explain the jarring disharmony between the government's claims and its reported facts?
Thank you. Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sport.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now he's smiling.
Yesterday I had the opportunity to talk a little bit about the culture sector here in the province of Ontario. It's a $22 billion sector, and of course music is a big part of that sector. We, as a government, put forward a new fund, the Ontario Music Fund, to really allow for different artists here in the province of Ontario, different companies, labels, to really accelerate the work they're doing. We see this as an economic development piece, and we know the music sector here in the province of Ontario are creating thousands of jobs. They always have, and we're seeing an increased acceleration of jobs here in the province of Ontario. We're seeing music that's being used now in our video games, in interactive digital media, music that's being used in our film, in our television. This is part of a huge sector that continues to grow, and I hope that the member's office support the culture sector and the music fund, because we see it as a huge opportunity for continued economic growth here in the province of Ontario.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. No answer again. Speaker, in last year's budget, the Ontario Music Fund was established on a permanent basis, while the Ontario Sound Recording Tax Credit was discontinued. The Ontario independent music industry expressed its concern that the change in support model from tax credits to a grant-based regime would unduly favour large multinational record labels at the expense of small Ontario producers. The data bears out this concern. Ontario record companies were awarded grants averaging $115,000 each in the fund's first year and $144,000 in the fund's second year. But the three large foreign record labels, Sony, Universal, and Warner, received $5 million between them over the last 2 years. Could the minister explain why the Ontario taxpayer is subsidizing big multinationals at 6 to 7 times the rate of our own domestic producers, and will today's budget do a better job for protecting our own independent music industry in Ontario?
Thank you. Minister.
Speaker, the Ontario Music Fund is a fund that we are very proud of as a government. It's a $15 million fund that last year we made permanent. This is a permanent fund embedded into our budget. And, Mr. Speaker, when you have other provinces like British Columbia really copying our fund in order to accelerate their sector, I think that's a vote of confidence on our side. But let me tell you a little bit of a story, Mr. Speaker. The Weekend, you know, international superstar from Scarborough, Ontario. Mr. Speaker, when he first started, he accessed the music fund to help build his career. Right. And look at him now. The guy just won a Grammy. Wow. You know, I think we should stand up for our artists here in the province of Ontario and stand up for the music fund, because it will allow for this sector to continue to grow, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Please.